Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome, biggity back, y'all. Hey, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. My name is Kelsi, and I'm here for you guys every Sunday and Wednesday, sometimes less, sometimes more, to talk about my VSG journey. It's my hope that through these videos, you're able to find the answers to questions you've been looking for, or the path to choosing surgical weight loss is made that much easier. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today is, weigh-in Wednesday. It's the day that we get together. I step on the scale and see if anything has changed since the last time we were together. So as you guys can see, my intro is a little bit different. It is still weigh-in Wednesday, but this is going to be the first part of a 5-part series that I have created called Kelsi's Declassified Bariatric Surgery Survival Guide. This is basically, I don't know if you guys remember, there was actually a TV show that used to come on that was called Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, or like High School Survival Guide. I'm not necessarily sure, but it was a really cute show. And I took that idea and I was like, you know what? I'm going to create this series for people who are actively searching or looking to have bariatric surgery, or they've already had bariatric surgery and they need some help along the way. So this is a 5-part series that will take place over the next 5 weeks on each weigh-in Wednesday. Each Wednesday will have a different topic, and it'll cover the things that I've learned throughout my journey that I would like to give to you. I'm still new in the game. I'm only 6 months in, but listen, I feel like anybody can use a little bit of help along the way. Trust me, we all need it. I get my stats into the video because, as I promised, if you don't want to be here for the full video and you're only here to know how much weight I've lost, I got you. So my starting weight was 330 pounds. My goal weight is 170 pounds. And my current weight is 246.2 pounds. So yes, the scale has moved quite significantly since the last time we got together. And let me tell you, it was hard work. I had to go ahead, batten down the hatches, and really put a lot of effort to get that stall to break. I did change up a few things in my routine. If you guys are interested in that, just leave a comment down below and I will give you the 411 on that. Anyways, if you're interested in my video and you want to stick around for that, keep on watching. This is the first part of my 5-part series, and this particular part is called preparation. And I guess you're thinking, Kelsi, how do I prepare for bariatric surgery? I'm interested in it. I'm watching videos. I feel like I want to make a change in my life, but how do I do that? So I've created this, so I'm hoping that it will help someone. I'm hoping that it will kind of be like a guide for anybody who is considering but don't know where to start. So the first thing you're going to need to do is do your research. Take the time to understand what exactly it is that you are wanting to do. In the bariatric community, there are several weight loss surgeries that can be done. 2 that you hear the most about are going to be the VSG, which is the gastric sleeve, or the RNY, which is also known as the gastric bypass. In my case, I did go with the gastric sleeve because I felt it was the less invasive procedure, but I definitely attended a lot of bariatric seminars. I did a lot of research online. I watched a lot of videos. That's where you would need to start at. Start attending seminars. Some of them are online, some of them are Zoom calls, some of them are in person, but 99% of these are free, and it costs nothing to educate yourself. Why not take a moment to learn about something that can be life-changing, that you really need to understand and know without a shadow of a doubt, this is what you want to do. In these seminars, you learn about the surgeries that are on the market and also about that particular surgeon who was holding that bariatric seminar. You learn about what your options are as a patient, insurance coverages, different options of payment. There's so much information in these bariatric seminars that you definitely walk away with a lot of things that you either wanted answered or now that you have more questions about. They also talk about the complications, the downsides to surgery, And you kind of are able to start getting a feel as to what surgery fits your lifestyle and why. After you've done your research and you've finally kind of chosen either VSG, RNY, or the other available bariatric surgeries, you can then begin honing in on the details. I call it doing a deep dive into that particular surgery. Hone in, find a favorite YouTuber, find a favorite, YouTube channel, find a favorite doctor, find anyone who is able to give you that information that you would like in regards to furthering your understanding of your bariatric surgery that you would like. You can also talk to those who have had the surgery, who are out further in their surgery or their post-op life. You could speak with relatives who have had it. You can never have enough information. I felt like when I stepped into my surgery, I was a well of information. I had so much going, that I had just packed down and wrote down and put to the side and helped myself understand. But that by the time I had the surgery, I didn't have many questions. This time is crucial. It's important that you take this time to understand what you want and to make sure that bariatric surgery is for you. The number 2 thing that you're going to do. So now that you've picked a surgery, you know what's right for you, you know what path you want to start down, you need to speak to your insurance. And in, some cases, I do see people wait until they met with the surgeon and they're, halfway into their preparation phase, and they speak with their insurance and they find out that the insurance doesn't cover this. I feel it's important that you speak to your insurance early on. The earlier, the better, because once you know because your insurance is basically if you're paying by insurance or you're having insurance, assist in paying for your surgery. Insurance is one of the main components in successfully having your surgery done to where you're not paying a lot out of pocket. Once you know what the insurance needs and what they want from you, I feel that it sets the tone of the entire process. It sets the tempo, and you're able to move accordingly. You can begin crunching the numbers, knowing how much money you'll need to set back. Be specific with the questions that you ask your insurance provider, because so many things can be left in the dark. You want to know if there's any particular clauses or anything that can prevent you from having the surgery beforehand. I feel that it's important that you ask your insurance provider these 5 questions when you're talking to them about bariatric surgery. The number 1 thing, does my policy cover bariatric surgery? Number 2, what are any applicable copays, deductibles, coinsurance, and also I think copays, deductibles, coinsurances. Those are the 3 things that a patient will be left as responsibility for any service rendered. So you want to know what your financial responsibility is up front. Not only because you're going to get a lot of bills. And this is, I know this because I work in medical billing. You're going to receive a portion for the physician or the surgeon, anesthesiology, pathology, if there's any testing done on the stomach that is removed, more than likely, and facility charges. Those are off top 4 bills that you will have. So I don't know if there's copays for each individual, whatever. For me, I paid my physician $500 and I paid my facility $150. That was due before my surgery could even be done. You need to know what is due from you as the patient financially, and your insurance can tell you. Number 3, what are the requirements that this will be covered by my insurance? You want to know what are the things that, what are the requirements for me to be considered for the surgery? Does my BMI have to be a certain way? Do I have to have pre-existing health conditions? Is there anything that can disqualify me from it? You want to know everything so that when it comes time down to it and you are ready, you are able to have your surgery and you get an approval with no problem. Number 4, what is needed to pre-qualify for the surgery? For me, I met 2 of the requirements off top. My BMI was a 55 and I had polycystic ovarian syndrome. That opened the door for me because when I called my insurance, they were like, you have to have pre-existing health conditions that are related to being obese or overweight. Then that's, and I was also pre-diabetic, insulin resistant, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had so many, had so many of the precursors to be able to have the surgery. So make sure that what are the qualifications? Do I meet these qualifications? am I in the category to where, you all will cover the surgery for me? Because if it's not deemed a medical necessity, your insurance is not going to cover it. You will be denied. And number 5, if you are denied for the surgery, if your insurance says, you know what, we're not going to cover it. What is the denial appeal process? How can I, as the patient, fight for my right to be able to have the surgery? Do I need to meet with my doctor? And your surgeon may know this, but it's always good to know this stuff beforehand. I have all of that. I have it in my folder of stuff that I put over here because my little office area is over here. Look. I have all of the documentation from my surgery, all the questions I asked my insurance. I was constantly researching. I wanted to soak up everything. So, like I said, meet with your insurance, talk with your insurance, sit down, have a phone call, read over your policy documentation. I'm telling you, it's crucial that you do. It's so important. Once you've obtained this info, it's time to start forming a game plan. It's now time for you to select and stick with a surgeon. So you've had all this time to go to bariatric seminars and test out the waters for different surgeons. And, when I was going to the bariatric seminars, I was narrowing down the ones that I found, fit me. I had several that I really liked their bedside manner. But like I told you guys, when I met with my surgeon in person, and I paid to talk to him, and his bedside manner was amazing. He was caring and he listened, and that's what really did it for me. And so that was just it. So I think it's always good to narrow down your choices and then start weighing out which one is the best fit for you. Number 3, choosing a surgeon. When you're looking for your surgeon or you're choosing a surgeon, remember, you are never obligated to choose any surgeon that you've had a bariatric seminar or a consultation with. You are free to choose any surgeon that fits your needs, that fits your spirit, that feels good with you when you sit down and you talk to them. You are not obligated by any means. When you go in for a bariatric sermon, when you go in for a bariatric seminar, or you have a one-on-one consultation with a surgeon, you are not obligated to choose that surgeon. You have to do what feels right to you. And I'm telling you, it is so important that you pick the right surgeon. Picking the right surgeon plays a major role in your post-operative life. I hope you guys are listening. I'm going to say that again. Picking the right surgeon plays a major role in your post-operative life. One of the things that I considered when I was picking and finalizing my decision for my surgeon. Number 1, and this was the biggest thing to me, consider their bedside manner. Someone who listens to you. I didn't necessarily want anyone who was going to sugarcoat with me. I didn't want anyone who was going to be, sugary and syrupy sweet. I wanted someone who was going to be real and honest with me. And that's why I chose my surgeon. I felt like he was real. I felt like he was honest. And I felt like he was going to be clear and concise with me moving forward. I don't want anyone who's going to be a yes man or a yes woman and just tell me what I want to hear to get my money, to get me on the table and usher me on out the door. I actually want someone who's concerned about my well-being, who, makes it their overall duty to ensure that I have a positive and rewarding experience as a bariatric patient. Number 2, and I know a lot of people don't put a lot of stock in this when it comes to medical stuff. Be mindful of reviews and ratings on Google, WebMD. There's different, doctor rating sites. Look into your surgeon. I looked into my surgeon. There were things I found out about my surgeon, and I'm just whatever. As long as he's a good doctor and I feel safe in his care, nothing else matters. As long as when I walk through that door, I feel like I'm respected and I'm a patient and my physician cares about me. That's all that matters. Take the time, do some research on the surgeon, see what other people say about your surgeon. They're not going to lie. You will get a few people like, oh my God, they were horrible to me, and they're not telling the truth. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to get real, honest, and realistic reviews from people who have experienced, positive or negative experiences with your surgeon. Read them, take them to heart, and really take a moment to weigh. That should weigh into your decision on whether or not you should pick that person. If you can see a lot of reviews that say, oh, he has a horrible bedside manner. I couldn't get anyone to help me post-op. I couldn't get this, and I couldn't get this, and I email and I call, but as soon as surgery day comes, they're calling me to get my pre-op payment or whatever. That's a red flag. You really, really, really have to look into the details of the reviews. Does that make sense? I hope so. Number 3, look for overall organization and a collective attentiveness to you as a patient from all parties involved. That means that's from the surgeon on down. I'm talking from the receptionist when you walk in the front door, to the nurse practitioner, to the medical assistant, to the anesthesiologist, anyone that is on that surgeon's team. You want to feel safe in their care. I'm not even going to lie. If I come to a doctor's office and the first person I see is the receptionist and she's rude and has a cold manner and isn't welcoming, it doesn't make me want to be there. And it makes me question all of the surrounding components. Or if you're sending in documentation or there's things that's needed from you and it keeps getting lost, or no, we didn't get your fax, or no, we didn't get your email, and can you come drop off your insurance card again because we don't have it? That's a red flag. You want someone who takes your procedure just as seriously as you do. You want someone who takes the time, who is attentive, and that pays attention to everything that's going on, so that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you can get in there, get it done, and have a fantastic post-operative life. It's really important that everyone who's involved in your care takes their time and does things right. Number 4, be aware of a cattle-like herding process. You are not a sheep. You are a human being. And I went through several bariatric seminars and also one-on-one meetings where I would walk into a room or, a facility, and there were 6 or 7 other people all there for the same thing. And I'm telling you, like clockwork, 1 in, 15 minutes out. 1 in, 15 minutes out. 1 in, 15 minutes out. And I was like, are we all here for the same thing? And they're like, yeah, I'm here, because I'm getting VSG, or I'm here because I'm getting, RNY. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. This is a weight loss, a surgical weight loss center. So I expect that. But I don't want it to be just like, okay, well, here's the paper, sign these, I'll see you on the next meeting. I want someone to take the time to understand me as a person, to ask me my goals with the surgery, to see where my mind space is, because just because I want it doesn't mean that I need it. Or, vice versa, just because you feel that I need it doesn't mean that I need it, or whatever. I want someone to take their time to understand me as a patient and to give me a quality of care. Quality of care is very imperative in any medical situation. So keep that in mind. If you feel like you're being herded like a sheep and you're being just passed through the cattle grinder, you might want to pump the brakes a little bit and maybe consider another surgeon. Number 4, after you've chosen your surgeon, it's time to meet with them. This first meeting with your surgeon that you've chosen to have, to perform your life-altering surgery. You're going to sit down with this person and you're going to discuss everything. This is a time where you ask every question that you've written down, every question that's been in your mind, everything that's in your heart, everything that's on your soul. I wouldn't care if I had 462 million questions to ask. I'm going to ask them all at this time. This is the beginning of a new era for you. So grab all of the information that you can grab. Take in everything that you can, because more than likely this is going to be the most lengthy, at least in my case, this was the most lengthy meeting that I had with my surgeon opposed to like my post-operative meetings. So I feel like you're able to get the most information at this point in time. So I went back to my my documentation from when I was having my surgery, and I actually wrote down questions for my physician, and I just have them right here. And these are some questions that you guys can ask your surgeon when you're meeting with him for the first time. How much weight can I expect to lose, and how quickly will I lose it? Will there be any scarring, and what can I do to minimize it? What can I do before surgery to lower the risk of complications? Are there any medications that I should avoid prior to surgery? Will anesthesia be used, and are there any other options to consider? How soon after surgery will my first follow-up appointment be? How often will I see you after my surgery? How do I contact you if I have any questions in case of an emergency? Do you take walk-ins? If something goes wrong, will I be able to just walk in and see you, or do I have to call and make an appointment? How does your practice work with insurance companies to ensure the lowest out-of-pocket expenses for me as the patient? What post-surgery care and support programs do you offer? For me, all of those were very important. Even though my insurance rates, I believe, were pretty much set in stone, I wanted to know how my surgeon worked with my insurance company to make sure that I, as the patient, was not being drugged through the rocks by my insurance. Ask anything that you want during this time. Take notes, record. You guys saw a little bit of my pre-op journey. I recorded, those meetings with my physician. I didn't get all of my meetings with them because there were some questions that I had to kind of, cut out and leave those to myself. But take this, record it. Bring someone with you. If the COVID guidelines, allow for you to have another person there, bring someone with you, because 2 ears are better, or 4 ears are better than 2. You may hear what you think you hear, but the other person may say, no, he said he does this, or she said she does that. Bring another person with you. That'll help too. Get it all out, get it in there good, and get it tucked away. Write it down, make it your Bible. Number 5, you're going to prepare yourself for what's next. Now that you've done your research, spoke with your insurance, decided on a surgeon, and met with your surgeon, you have the fundamentals of building your game plan. You will probably given a list of requirements that you have to meet by your surgeon for the months coming ahead. In most cases, there are mandatory nutrition visits, primary care physician visits, as well as a strict pound loss that you have to get done within a certain amount of months. This means it's time to crunch. It means it's time to do everything you can to make sure that you can qualify for your surgery. Anything that your surgeon tells you to do at this point in time, follow it to a T, because any diversion or any slip up can keep you from being able to qualify for your surgery. And nothing hurts worse than getting almost to the finish line and not making it through, or something doesn't happen, or there's a hiccup, and you want to do everything you can to prevent that before you get there. Being proactive in this nature will prevent you from failing, and that's exactly what the survival guide is for. So now that you have all that and you have your fundamentals to your game plan, what's next, you say? Come back for part 2 in Kelsi's Declassified Bariatric Surgery Survival Guide, where we'll talk about all of the steps leading up to your big day. That includes the pre-op diet, nutrition visits, primary care visits, and everything else in between. I hope you guys enjoyed this first installment of my 5-part series. I am going to go ahead and put in my weigh-in now. Good morning. We're going to go ahead and get into my weigh-in. I'm going to bring you guys a little closer. We're going to go ahead and wake up my girl here. Get on the scale. 246.2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't and you would like to be, please make sure to join my channel. Hit that subscribe button, baby. Come on in and give me a hug. I'm so happy that you're here. You could have been anywhere else in this YouTube world, but you chose to be here with me. I love you guys in 10K. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.